back to the Benner Business Podcast. I am your host, Cliff, along with my beautiful wife over here.
My name is Sydney.
And we are here to discuss business topics and why we think business is important to have in your life.
Yes, I definitely think it's important. So we probably should start off with like our brief why we are
This
into
is,
business.
I would agree. This is our second episode, so I think just a
Mhm.
little recap on why and what we're getting into.
Yes. Yeah. So I think our why is mostly we want the freedom for the future that say we want to have kids or animals, whatever, we can actually spend time with them
hmm
rather than just having to go to work and do our 9 to 5 life where
hmm
our job is almost more our home than
Yeah.
home.
Yeah. Got the nice office set up where, your pencils are where they need to be, and you have a microwave and a coffee pot, and then you start putting a fridge and you end up just sleeping there. You get a blanket and everything.
I don't know
So
about okay, I do have a blanket at work,
I have the
so
coffee pot at work.
okay.
So we're already there. We're getting there. So yeah, if we had kids, I mean, right now we have our businesses and our jobs, and it always feels chaotic.
Yes.
Like one of my hobbies is playing video games, and I think I got a solid like 8 hours this year so far, and this is April now. So, and I mean, I don't know. I don't think you have much time to do anything that you wanted to.
It's work, eat, and sleep.
Yes, amen. So our why is cemented into the freedom
Yeah,
to do what we want. And I don't really want to wait till I'm 65 to do the things I want.
yeah.
Oh,
Same here.
yeah. So like I want to go on a vacation, and I want to spend time with kids, and I just want to do what I want.
Yeah. I don't want to have to ask for permission
Yes.
to take a vacation.
Yeah.
Or like if I'm sick, I have to ask permission to be sick.
hmm Or they tell you to come in, and then you spread around the office, and everybody doesn't like you for a month because
Yeah,
you made
but
them
they
sick,
told you to come in.
but they won't allow you to be sick. So,
Yeah.
and yeah, I want that freedom to, if I'm not feeling good, I'm gonna go sit on the couch, with tucked in a blanket, burrito myself, and enjoy ramen all day
Yeah. That sounds amazing.
without asking for permission. I may take a call or email if we have our businesses going, because
I
we'll
don't know
have to
about a call. I feel bad.
get a stuffy nose in there. See how many times you can sniffle in the conversation.
I feel bad. Email, I would probably do, but it'd be like, can you double read this? I don't know if I wrote it right.
You get the cough syrup hangover. Just like I don't remember writing that.
um,
So with our why we think people should have a business and why business is important to life and how it can give us our make it so we can achieve our why, get to it and our freedom and goals and everything. We have already a few businesses established that we've done. We've done startups so far.
mhm.
So that is something that we have tested, done, experienced, and ultimately failed at a bunch of them.
Yeah,
And we still keep pushing, and that is because of our why. But what does business have to offer is the question today. And we have our real estate business. We have coaching and bookkeeping we do. We have this podcast we're doing. We're even writing a book.
yes.
And so like we have these things going on and we're not stopping there. We actually have more things in the pipeline we're looking into right now.
Yeah, it's like a never ending thing. Once you get a taste for business,
Cool.
I feel like you can't stop.
I don't want to like sound like a bad, bring food into this, but like once I have ice cream, I want to eat the gallon. Like there is never enough frosty, there are enough cookies and cream ice cream to suffice it, and that's how business feels to me.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know about cookies and ice cream and all that kind of
Some
stuff. Like
watermelon sherbet, maybe.
I usually just want a little cup. But
Okay.
for business, it's like you start it, especially with startups, it's not as easy. You will fail. It's one of those things where you just ride the roller coaster out. I'm sure you feel that way too.
Screaming the whole day.
Yeah, yeah. And like it's fun feeling the roller coaster.
hmm
but you get so frustrated. Like, okay, why were there two loops there?
Hmm.
Why couldn't they just have been like an up and down kind of thing? Not okay. I just went a full 360 degrees, and now I'm back where I started with the startup. How do I reinvent it?
Hmm.
And that was always a struggle point where I've learned over our course of businesses that you have to fail. It sucks,
Hmm.
but that's the only way you're going to learn. And I'm sure you can attest to that too.
Hmm. Definitely. And that's, I think that's getting into like the things that businesses offer us against just doing the normal 9 to 5, normal, what we're told to do, so to
Yeah,
speak,
it
is
makes you grow as a
we,
person.
oh, yeah. Oh, there's so many things I found out about myself and found out about you that only came from those challenges,
Yeah,
that pressure, that stress. I mean, did I want to go through that? No, no, I didn't.
yeah,
But what is it? The only way to get comfortable is to be uncomfortable.
that's a good way to put it.
So
As awful as it is, it's so truthful.
very much so. There
Like,
is not a time that we have done anything that has been the best thing for us that I felt comfortable. I mean, the stomach churning process, that like knot in the stomach, I got that when we bought the house, when we moved, everything we started, even interviewing for jobs that were better for us. You just have that thing there. It's uncomfortable, but
it is.
it usually is better,
Yeah. But,
or
well,
you
we
grow.
usually hope.
Yeah, you hope, but you learn, and so then the next time that happens, you're ready for the next step.
Yes.
Experience, you did it.
Yeah. Like, it doesn't go in your resume, but in your personal life of resume, you're like, oh, well, I messed up on X, Y, and Z.
Hmm.
So I guess for the next time, I'm not going to mess up on that X, Y, and Z. If I do, I already know how to mitigate the high risk or the long time risk rather than, okay, then if you, here's 3 months have passed, now I have to figure out how to still solve that X, Y, and Z where I already did that. So 2 weeks, I haven't solved, I'm fixed. The business is fine.
Hmm.
Um,
Then you
it's
can
just not
handle.
fun.
It's just not fun, but you learn how to handle the next problem easier, even if it's not the same. I know we had issues with me talking to contractors for the real estate business we have. I had a huge issue with that, and then when shit hit the fan and it got really hard, the next contractor it was the easiest thing because it was
You knew what to say, you
you
knew
with
what
this.
to look
I was
for.
done with like if conflict is the reason things are not going well, I just got to push through that,
Yeah.
and I knew it at the time, and now it's easier. It's like, okay, well, we're gonna have conflict no matter what, because you know what do they want? They want endless amounts of money. What do I want? Then I don't want to pay.
Yeah. Then
Um,
it's not fun.
yeah, so we have to come in the middle, and that's going to cause conflict because
Yeah.
they're not going to like what I want to pay, and I'm not going to like what they're going to pay, and we'll get to the middle where we're both okay with paying. And so that's just, it makes you grow as a person, and it's easier to talk to people. It's easier, not even just outside of business, just friends group and people you meet. It just gets easier to kind of be yourself in a way.
In a way, I would say yes, but when you're still in the W-2 world, I feel like you have to be a certain person because they want you to be their way.
Hmm.
So you can't really be yourself to an extent.
Oh yeah.
So like I don't know about you, but you almost have to train yourself. Okay, who am I supposed to be today?
Oh yeah.
Or who am I supposed to be for this hour? Okay, I'm a business owner, so I can I'm trying to think of an example, but I can dictate I need to do this thing, this thing, this thing, and I have to get it done.
Hmm.
Where I go into my W 2 job, oh, what do you need? How can I help you? How can I assist you? How can I make your life easier?
Hmm.
I need to do the same thing in my business, but I can tell myself, oh, you screwed up. You need to fix a problem. Where in a W 2, I feel like you screw up. how do you fix the problem other than beating yourself up in a way, like
Yeah.
you didn't do it right.
Hmm.
So what's the solution?
Yeah. And usually the solution is you get a talking to like a child, and then you have to go back and do it. And I mean, both of us have worked in the corporate world. And when I was in public accounting, we had that same issue where I had, multiple managers and every one of them wanted something done a different way. And what happened
Yes.
when I, did it somebody else's way is I got a meeting that said, this isn't how I wanted to do. I told you about this. You need to stop doing it this way. And
Yes.
then like, telling them, oh, this is what I do for another manager, to them was like, you're not prioritizing them. And so you just slap them in the face. So you got in trouble for doing something else that you already were taught,
Yes.
because you don't work underneath that person directly. And it's just, you just feel like a child, like,
Yeah.
you
Like,
feel like you're in school and
how do you fix it?
yeah.
Where with your business, you learn how to fix it because you're not going to get that profit.
Hmm.
Where in a W-2 job, like you were saying, you kind of get treated like a child in a way, but like you're still getting your income, but there's no added on other than bad. You
Hmm.
didn't do it
It's
right.
just less satisfaction.
Yeah.
I mean, like when you do good, you get a pizza party. When you do good in a
Yeah.
business, you get money and
Yeah.
all the things we're talking about.
Get the freedom, you get more time to yourself
Yeah,
because you're paying your bills from your business.
yeah, and you get to, now you get to dictate more of what's going on. And
Yeah.
so we're gonna, I think that's a great time to kind of move into like the part of a business that's great is you don't have an income ceiling. What
Yes.
you make is as much as you can.
Yeah.
You are the one dictating how much you make. Your choices and everything, and that's scary to some people.
That is. And
It's still scary to us.
yeah.
I mean,
And then there are some jobs where, say, you have so many billable hours and you go over it, you get extra money there. So
yeah,
a lot of people are incentivized to go to that kind of job because they're,
overtime
yeah,
is king. It's
yeah,
beautiful. It helps. It makes
exactly.
that paycheck better, so it makes your life better. But
Yeah.
you're still limited because
Yes.
you're working more, and you're gonna get a certain
So
amount.
less time.
The less time outside of
Yeah.
work.
Where
Now,
there's a possibility with a business that you earn more money,
mm-hmm,
and by earning more money means less time too. So
mm-hmm,
more money and less time. So you get best of both worlds when you do it. Like once you reach the beginning, which is a startup business.
yes,
So you're not going to be satisfied at the beginning because that's when you're paying more into your business to be like,
more time, more
hey,
money.
you should check us out. Like this is really cool, or this is a really cool product. How do I um get more information out to the world to be like, oh, this is the good product. How do I
Mm-hmm.
purchase that? Where um the further you go on in business,
Yeah, you get economies of scale. Your expenses are less. But the word of mouth is there. The reviews are there. You have more of a foundation established.
yeah,
When the startup, you're building that foundation.
yeah, you're paying into it to get a final product at the end where
Yes.
it's less time and more money.
Yeah.
But in the beginning, it's less money, more time.
Exactly. And then it might even cost you some.
Yeah.
So then it's a gamble. It's obviously a risk.
Yeah.
It's always a risk. Everything is a risk though. So you just gotta, everything's hard, and you gotta choose your hard.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
the potential of having no income limit, I mean, it's alluring. It's something that you see and you're like, man, that would be really nice. That like, at work, I work 40 hours a week. I'm making this much a week. At a business, I could work 25 hours and make the same as if I worked a 40 hour week. Or, if I worked 60 hours that week for my business, I could make triple what I make. And so that's where our hope is that the more you put into the business, that the more time and money you get back.
Yeah. Yeah. That's always the hope.
Yes.
Now there are some businesses where it's may take longer, it may not succeed fully,
Mm-hmm.
but you also have to review yourself on what was I actually doing for that business. And that was something for me where when I did the startup, I'm not a social person. I'm an introvert.
Mhm.
I fully admit to that.
Yes.
Um, I was doing the research on how to get myself out there, but I wasn't necessarily taking the actions to get myself out there because I was afraid.
Mhm.
I'm a very private person and I like myself being just myself. And hopefully that makes sense. But I it just was a downfall of mine. And that's something I had to realize. And yeah, it probably took me, say, a year to figure out that I am not doing this right.
Mhm.
I need to step up my game and actually take action. And that,
And responsibility,
you
and
know, I
you
had to
had to
own up
admit,
to
yeah,
it. Like, I had to learn that about myself that, yeah, I suck at talking. I suck at being a social being, but I have to do the thing. Like,
yeah.
I just have to do it.
You have to get that stomach knot.
Yeah. I don't like
Nobody likes that.
it.
You have to get uncomfortable to be comfortable.
Yeah. Send it back.
But it does produce more, we're the with the income limit not being there, that does help you produce so that you can make more time and you can have those freedoms. And so when people have those dreams of what they envision their life to be, I mean, it is possible. Is it hard? Oh God, yeah. But is anything in life worth having easy? No, or else I'd have it. I'd have a six pack. Yeah,
Without your
with
Oreos.
my Oreos. That'd be the weirdest billboard ever. Just me munching on Oreos with a six pack.
Oreos to get a six pack.
Yeah, I mean, how great would that? I'd be mounting sleeves of those a day just to stay fit. If only life worked that way, we'd be rich in six packs.
Yeah.
But it doesn't. So,
Yeah.
we have to work hard. We have to work the 40 hours a week right now. And then we have to do our real estate and the bookkeeping we have and the coaching and, writing the book and doing this podcast. All that takes time.
Yeah.
But, we're putting it in now while we have more time to us to just you and me,
Mhm.
that we can use that time to try to, quote unquote, invest it into the future.
Yes.
So we're trying to make future Cliff and Sydney's life easier
Yeah.
by making our lives harder right now.
Yeah.
But that
Time
is,
is money kind of
yeah,
thing.
and that's the whole point. That's investing. I mean, that's like investing 101.
Yeah.
You're going to invest in stocks and there's no guarantee, but you're hoping that it's going to build up so it makes your life easier in the future. Otherwise, you'd want that $1,000 now to go buy what you want, make life better.
Yeah. Long-term investment kind of deal
Hmm.
where the short-term investment may give you $1,000 right now. Like, here's $1,000. Would you like it now?
Yeah,
Or would you like me to hold on to it for 10 years and say you get $10,000?
yeah,
Which one would you like?
exactly. And so those are in part of owning the business. Why we think it's good is you put it in now and it's going to pay. It should pay out. Like if it's done right and things go well and you're working hard on it and you're doing things properly, it's going to pay out in the long run.
Yes. Short term, I would say you learn who you are as a person.
And that's something that you get a benefit of is you grow more, you get more experience, you get better. And then you can carry that into whatever else you do.
Yeah.
And, like we said, we have these startups, the real estate and the coaching and stuff. And we did that, we failed, and now we're much better and we're already pursuing stuff that is our part of our dreams. And this is quicker than we thought we were going to do.
Yeah.
And we're doing it easier and we have an idea and we have like checklists and things in our mind where we're like, do we do this? Do we do this? We messed up on those things we didn't do them before. Now we're checking those and it's even easier because it's like once you start knocking out those things and then you just kind of get down to the end where you're like, well, I'm not really, it's getting towards obviously just risky, and that's the only issue I can see.
Mm-hmm.
The other issues, we already like have an idea, plan what we're gonna do. So some of those things in the pipeline we have going on right now that hopefully in the future we'll be able to share on here and talk to people about what we did and stuff like that. But for now, we're just gonna be holding it to ourselves. But
Yeah.
those are the things that we're working on. we've already addressed a lot of those situations, and it's like, man, at this point, it's just risky because it is.
Yeah, it's just financials.
Yeah,
Usually that's the number one thing why people don't want to get into business.
it's
It's
terrifying.
because of financials. Fully agree on that. Like real estate, we spent so much money.
Yeah,
And
so much, and it still hurts.
yeah,
It made it hard to do what we
became our
wanted to.
bottleneck,
Yeah,
which ultimately wasn't great financially, but we made it happen.
yes,
That was the thing is finances you can make work.
yeah.
Is it fun? Absolutely not.
No, it never is. And like we've grown so much from that, and that
Yes.
being part of our business, we didn't get the income, but as a person now and as people we are and the experiences we have, I mean, we've we even have people and friends we talk to about like who
Got
are
nothing to do.
yeah, and they're either older than us or they're more experienced in like different fields, and then they're still like, I mean, I think I remember one that was like, I have to get a contractor. What do you do? Obviously, hearing our stories, like, obviously, you know how to talk to him because you've messed up so much on this. I'm like, I did. I
Yeah.
really did. Here's what you do.
Yeah.
And they're older than us. And that just shows that, like, it doesn't matter your age
No.
either. Is you gonna mess up when you're gonna mess up.
Yeah.
But the business is gonna make that experience and make you get further along to where it doesn't matter what your age is. People who know what know that stuff more than them are gonna come to you for help
Yes.
if they're, open to that.
And that's the thing is leading into the whole risk factor. Right now, we're open to playing the risk factor.
Yeah, our risk level very high.
Yeah.
We can do that.
Yeah.
We make, we budget, and that'll be another episode we have to talk about because of how important budgeting is. But we know, I mean, we wouldn't have been able to do these things.
No.
But we knew what we was coming in and what we could have going out, and we cut down and live pretty lean.
Yeah.
We don't have many things that we go out and buy for funsies. But that's part of what we're doing is we're, making current Cliff and Sydney aren't having the best time because we want future Cliff and Sydney to have the best time in the world. They want them to have exactly what we want.
Which we don't limit ourselves now, though.
Yeah.
Like, for example, when we were going through that whole ordeal
with the real estate,
because we wanted to take that high risk.
Yes.
We took it, obviously, and then it trickled down through our budget.
Yes.
And what we had to do, we had to find out more source of income and how to reduce our costs.
Yes.
So we were living off of what, maybe $35 for food or groceries
a week.
So that meant no Costco.
Nope.
That meant we ate a lot of pasta. And ultimately, we ended up gaining weight, so our health wasn't great because of that choice.
Yes.
So it was a give and take. One of those things.
Yeah, there was no promise that it was going to happen and be, high reward.
Yeah.
And we took that, and it obviously failed.
Yes. But if we had kids, per se, I wouldn't want to take that risk. I'm like, no, that kid needs to eat healthy.
Yes.
There's no way I'd feed the kid what we were eating during that time. Just because it's our choice to make that, in my opinion.
Yes. And we're providing for us right now.
Yes.
And like our responsibility to us, and we were okay with that.
Yes.
That decision. Now, if we had, like you said, if we had a kid at the time, the decision would be more in the kid's interest. Yeah. And we wouldn't be able to do that because we would have weighed the pros and cons.
Yes.
And been like the risk is too high for us right now.
Yeah. And we do have a dog, so we were willing to take the risk with the dog. Did that mean the dog went out with his own little birthday cake for his birthday or toys? No.
No.
He was our big dog child
our little fur baby
who needed the stuff.
Yeah.
In my opinion, too. He deserved it.
Yes, that rope was on his need list.
Exactly.
And he got it.
Exactly. We didn't need the fancy lettuce blender stuff.
No, we had pretty sure Frosted Flake knockoff brand for weeks and cheap milk that was on sale, and we lived off of those things, and now
Like
know,
that was our risk.
yes, that was,
that leads into our why.
yeah,
Is we wanted to be risky now, so we didn't have to be risky later.
exactly. So that later is easier because risk is not as easy.
Yes.
So, and with, you know, like we said, like the people we've grown into, just the confidence to make some of these decisions even quicker. I mean, we had one night where we were looking at something we wanted to
Oh,
purchase,
yes.
and it was part of our dream,
Our ultimate
our
dream,
beyond,
our
like,
goal
yeah,
of life.
like if in, you know, this property or whatever we were looking at, like ultimately that would have been perfect, would have been ideal.
Yeah.
And
It had
we
everything.
went through the financials in like an hour, and we
Yeah.
were like, nope, can't make it happen.
Yeah.
And we
It
walked away.
wasn't,
We just told them this
yeah,
isn't, I mean, if
it wasn't what we thought would work for us because it was way too risky.
mhm,
And that's something right now is we're starting to like we're still taking risks, but we're not startup risks anymore.
yes, we've kind of we've learned what the startup is. We've taken the lessons, but we've kind of also seen that like we can be risky. We can, you know, purchase the business like you're saying,
Yeah.
and it's less risky.
Yeah.
And you know, it's going to cost more. There's going to be more, you know, maybe no's.
That goes into the financial, yeah.
Yeah, the financial part, but the income is already there and it's starting, and there's a foundation laid.
Yeah, but like say we even wanted to do another startup business, we're technically not startup people anymore because we've gone through two startups, like complete startups on
Yeah.
how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And usually like that's the scary part is, oh, what license do I need? Oh, what fees do I have to pay? What taxes do I have to do?
Mm-hmm.
How do I register a business?
Mm-hmm. How do
Those
I?
are all scary beginning parts because that's a huge financial step. Like, oh man, like all of this up front, will I get my return?
Mm-hmm.
Long term, yes. Short term, most likely not.
Yeah, probably not. I mean, that's almost every, you know, that's for the majority of most income streams.
Yes.
The
But
long term you have, the long term goals you have, and the more you stick with it, it'll return.
Yeah.
Short term, a lot of the time, riskier
Yeah.
things lose money. That's the stock market itself too.
Yeah. And that's something where we're different than where we were, what?
3 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I lost track of how many years ago at this point. But we're not the same people when we started
Mm-mm.
because we're not Googling, oh, how do I get in good standing
Mhm.
with our county or our state? What do we have to do? And we're, how do I phrase this? We're not researching that anymore. We're like, oh, yeah, just boom, 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 done. It's registered.
Yeah. That experience just, you know, makes it so things cost like take less time.
Yes.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah. I
And
think when we first started, it took us an hour to figure that out. Now, maybe 10 minutes.
yeah, probably. I mean, mostly just depends on the Wi-Fi at the time. So, but with these too is, you know, our bookkeeping coaching business, we're able to take it online. The podcast alone, we have it online. We can film anywhere. So once these do produce what we want, and we are, you know, we aren't stuck in a W-2, we're able to work on our own. We can take adventures and do stuff.
Yeah.
Where do you want to podcast today? Where do you want to film? Grand Canyon? Why not? You want to go and
I can't even imagine that. Like
you want
I know it's going to happen one day.
Yeah.
But I'm just sitting here thinking, are you crazy?
Yeah. What was the last vacation we had? Moving here?
No, I wouldn't say moving here. I
Because
say college, like when I
had to be.
graduated.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think it was your graduation because mine was the wedding year. So
Yeah.
we graduated, or I graduated, then we got married and moved.
Yeah.
And yours had to be the last time we had a trip.
Trip.
Yeah. So I mean that's quite a long time because we've had to work and
Mhm.
we've taken the risk of doing what we're doing.
We wanted to take that risk.
You-
That was our dream, and that also plays out with what we like our degrees in college, which was in the last episode,
mhm,
which is I'm small business,
mhm.
so that's right up my alley.
Yeah.
I loved learning about that. Did I learn everything in college? No,
No, not
they
even
didn't teach
close.
me how
Almost
to.
anything. It
I
felt
wouldn't
like
say anything, but like feels almost like nothing. They taught you what to say,
very basic
like how to
concepts.
research the stuff,
Hmm.
but they didn't show me how to register a business in whatever state I was living in.
They never taught us how to. You never even spoke about, like, even our small business classes never said like you can go purchase a business. Like the
Yeah,
idea of that never came to us till we started researching and doing our own education
yeah,
and building on ourselves. When we got into business and we said like this can't be the same way to do everything, and we looked
yeah.
into more and you hear more and research
And
and build
that's
ourselves.
huge other like segment in a way is continuing education.
Yeah,
That is so important. When like even if you don't go to college, it's almost
you
like
can't.
whatever you want to do in your life,
Hmm.
you just need to research on it.
Yeah, you can't let school get in the way of your education.
No,
Like
no.
it doesn't, and that's something I've learned is I did not the amount of books I read in school was the curriculum. That was the amount of books I read because I did not like reading. I got out of school and I have book after book I'm reading. I'm
Yeah,
reading two at a time.
yeah.
I'm reading,
You're
I
always
have,
reading.
yeah, and I love it now. And it's stuff I want to do. And right now it's hard to read because we're always busy, but like
Yeah,
we have friends who are business owners. We have podcasts and they talk about like, part of my morning routine is I sit and read for 30 minutes because I
yeah,
can.
yeah,
It's like you have that open schedule and when you make money and you open time
yeah,
and when the businesses don't have an income limit to what you can make in a year and you find a way to make the money you need, you open up all the time you have.
yeah,
And that's when you can pursue the stuff you want.
yeah. And I will say the big thing also that I noticed is when I started my business, you are not thrilled with the idea of having a business. You're like, you can start it, but I expect a return within a week or something like that.
I had unrealistic expectations of how
You
a
were,
business ran,
yes, you
even though I
were,
went through the same classes and stuff as you.
yes, you were very particular on how my business should have ran, how fast I should have got income.
Hmm.
I felt pressured.
Yeah,
But once you started your business, you felt,
this I didn't feel the same pressure. You didn't put that on me, but I
yes, but you
felt
felt what it would have been like, is
yes.
how hard it is.
Hmm.
So that was a huge learning tool for you, is actually doing it for yourself.
Yes.
And then you realize, like, oh, I should educate myself more.
Hmm.
And then I think one day we bought, what, 5 books because a family member gave us a gift card for Christmas or a
Yeah.
holiday or something.
And then like, parents are like, what do you want for Christmas? I send them books and they're like, you want a book?
Yeah.
Like that's how surprising it got. They're like, do you want you?
You
Is this for you? Is this for Sid? Like, no, this is my book. I want this. Like you? Okay.
I think
Sure.
that was a huge learning tool,
Hmm.
like for continuing education, where you learned that, oh, well, I now see where she started. How do I change that up?
Hmm. And I mean, we'll be wrapping up this episode soon, but like the other thing this can do for us is getting our businesses going. We're going to be able to get the next generation going with it even sooner than us.
Yeah, if they so
If
choose,
they
though.
choose, but
Because I'm
will
not
they?
going to give my business, like, say we had a child. I'm not going to give you a business. I'm sorry, I'm not doing that. You need to learn what it's like working for it.
Yeah. Are we going to tell, before they even like turn 18, we're probably going to be like, you're going to be in the weeds of what we're doing. You're
If
going
you
to
choose
see.
to go to college, go for it.
Yeah.
If you choose to go to a tech school, go for it.
If you choose to just start your own business, then go for it.
Yeah.
We're obviously going to, we're going to support them what they decide.
We're
But
not going to do the whole silver spoon, like, here you go, here's my business, run it.
mm-hmm.
That's my personal belief now. And that's, I felt like I went down a little rabbit hole there.
A little bit, but think of the experiences we had at 20 something, however old we were when we did
Yeah.
that, they're going to have that in their teens.
Yes.
And what's going to happen when they
They're gonna
fail?
do better than
They're
us.
going to do better. Yeah, they're going to be ready.
Yeah.
And then
Their risk is going like they're going to have risk,
mhm.
but they already know how to the outcome of the risk comes.
And they already know they're going to know that, we're going to teach them the things that we've learned from this business that has taught us more than anything else has, is that your failure is not the end.
Yeah.
It's not just that I failed, I'm done.
Yeah,
It's a
you
you
don't get a
failed,
gold sticker.
you've got to move on. Life doesn't stop for you. It doesn't stop. So
Yeah.
what are you going to do? You're going to pick yourself up and you're going to continue on.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's, I think, another thing of business that people don't understand is, their kids are going to be watching what they do,
Mm-hmm.
and they can get them involved in it. And most people do. Most businesses have, their, or pass along mom and pop kids working and grow up in it, and then they're going to see that, and that just makes it so they can do whatever they want better.
Yeah. If they so choose.
But whatever if they fail in college, they're going to be like, well, I mean,
Try
mom
her
and
again.
well, doesn't really mean the end of anything. I'll just do it again.
Yeah.
So I think, those are the biggest reasons why for business. And that's why we do our real estate and our coaching and stuff. Is uh we have those things. They've made us better people.
Mm-hmm.
We have no income limit. We are the limiting factor on how much we make. We when the business returns money, it returns time.
Yes.
And we're able to network with people that help us do that and make it better for us and like-minded people. And then our hope is too that this helps us become parents that pass on, the good events or the good lessons from this.
Yeah. Yeah. If my dog wants to run that business, gosh darn it, or doggone it, he's gonna run it.
Doggone it. His contract signature, paw print. So.
How fun.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well,
so do a quick recap.
I think
What's our why?
Ooh, freedom.
I would have to agree with
Yes.
that. I'd have to agree with that. In the comments, let's have our reviewers put what their why is. Is it freedom? Is it time? What is it?
Yeah. What is your why? And how can we help?
Yeah.
How can we help? We're on Benner.Stride.com.
Yeah.
You can find us on Instagram and Facebook there. Shoot us a message. How can we help you with your why? And I mean, that's kind of it. I mean, we're always here.
If there's always an episode that you want us to talk about, as I was talking earlier, I usually don't like to talk, but obviously I can talk his ear off. I'm used to that.
Yeah.
So whatever you want me to talk to him about.